Wayne Thiebaud was born in Mise, Arizona on November 15, 1920. However, when he was little, his family moved to California where he would spend the rest of his life. In high school, he apprenticed at the Walt Disney Studios, drawing Pinocchio, Goofy, and Jimmy Cricket for $14 a week. He served as an artist in the 1st Motion Picture Unit of the United States Army Air Forces from 1942 to 1945. Thiebaud went on to study art at college, earning a bachelor and master's degree. He then became a college art professor and an artist. Thiebaud was an American painter, known for his colorful works depicting commonplace objects such as pies, lipsticks, paint cans, ice cream cones, pastries, and hot dogs, as well as for his landscapes and figure paintings. He is associated with the pop art movement because of his interest in objects of mass culture. Thiebaud used heavy pigment and exaggerated colors to depict his subjects, making his paintings good enough to eat. Sadly, he passed away at 101 years old on December 25th, 2021. He has inspired many to look at food a little differently. Supplies you're going to need to create your own Wayne Thiebaud inspired cake artwork is, of course, a piece of paper. You can have paper any size. I have a 6x6 square. You can have a big paper, a small paper. You can even draw on a paper plate. It is up to you. Another supply you're going to need is, of course, a drawing material such as a pencil. And also, we're going to erase something. So you're going to need an eraser. You might have a eraser on the back of your pencil. That'll work. Or you can have a little handheld eraser. And, of course, anything you're going to use for colors such as crayons, markers, or watercolors. I am also going to use some watercolors for my background. The first thing we're going to do to start our cake drawing is we're going to draw an oval shape. And we're going to draw an oval shape towards kind of like the top half of our paper here. And it's simply going to go from the left side to the right side. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the sides of our cake, which is simply a line. And I'm going to start here right at the edge where my curve is, and I'm going to draw a line down. And the same thing on the other side. And then I am going to connect the two bottom ones. And so it's kind of like a slight curve line. So I kind of follow my cake shape here and to connect my line. Next, I'm going to draw a dot kind of towards the center of my circle. You can see my dot is right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line from the dot to the edge of my cake. So it's a diagonal line. And then I'm going to make another diagonal line somewhere. Now here's the tricky part. This is where your artistic opinion comes in of how big do you want your cake slice, or that was taken away from your cake. So you can have a skinny cake slice, if you go smaller, or you can have a bigger cake slice. So you can have a skinny slice or a bigger slice. I'm going to do a bigger slice. I'm going to do another diagonal line starting from my dot in the center, my oval, towards my line. And then I'm going to draw a straight line from this edge right here, where I end it, of my diagonal line to the bottom of my cake. So you got number one, or a straight line from the top to bottom, and same thing on the other side. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to erase that curved line that is inside of these two lines. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start where my dot was in the center, and I'm going to draw a line. But I'm not going to go farther than where I ended these lines. Okay, so I'm going to go probably right about there.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this line with this line, diagonal line. And if they're not perfectly straight, that's okay. Same thing to the other one. And then I'm going to put a plate around it. So I'm going to draw another oval around it. So it is sitting on something. So we're not finished our cake just yet. Now, I like fancy cake with different layers. So you can have a 2-tiered cake. You can have a 3-tiered cake. You can have a 4-layer cake, a 5-layer cake. It is up to you. So a layered cake is usually, it's cake and then icing and then cake and then more icing and it could just keep on going. To create your cake layers, I'm going to create a parallel line. So I'm going to follow kind of like the direction of this line right underneath. So I'm going to do one little layer of icing first. And then I'm going to do my cake. And then my icing is going to be a little thinner. And then cake. And then icing. So there's my one side with my cake and icing. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to start where I stopped, but I'm going to follow this line now. So I'm going to go right underneath. I'm going to follow it. All right, so there's basically my cake. You can put birthday candles on it. You can put some decoration. You can put polka dots, whatever you like to do for your cake. Now I'm going to add a few decorations and then add color. So feel free to stop and pause this video or rewind. So thanks for joining me, and I can't wait to see what your cakes look like.